You're already inside the room when the gun hits the table, the sound flat and controlled, swallowed by walls that don't echo. Three men watch you without speaking, their eyes steady, measuring, while the air smells faintly of smoke and chemical cleaner, and somewhere above, a ceiling fan turns every 3 seconds, slow and mechanical, giving you something to count as your cover name settles heavily in your throat, familiar yet Chuja. Practiced but never owned, and you know one wrong word ends everything. 2 years earlier, in a colder room fixed at 18 degrees, you signed a document you weren't allowed to read twice, and by sunrise your past was erased. Identity, records, connections, replaced with a constructed life detailed down to medical history, and training followed immediately. Hours of language drills, behavioral conditioning, learning to control your eyes, your breath, your pauses, until lying became precise rather than creative, until even silence was calculated, and after 180 days they stopped correcting you, which meant you were ready or at least expendable. Your first assignment was observation only, 94 days of watching, recording times, faces, movements, filing reports at exactly 2300, and then without acknowledgement you were moved deeper, closer, sharing space, mirroring habits, eating when they ate, sleeping only when trust allowed, handling money that grew from 50,000 rupees transfers to lakhs without question, because questions create patterns and patterns create suspicion, and within a year you were no longer just watching, you were part of the system. The rules were never spoken but always present, arrive on time but never early, respond within seconds but never instantly, report at 140 through channels that never repeat, operate within margins where even a 2-second delay can be noticed, and survive through creative compliance, following orders exactly but leaving space to adapt because rigidity breaks first. Slowly, your original self erodes. Your real name takes seconds to recall. Your voice shifts. Your reflection feels slightly off, and connections outside fade not by force but by irrelevance, replaced by routine, by silence, by the constant calculation of risk, until days lose structure and only operations remain. Then one night something changes. A message intercepted, a subtle shift in tone, your name mentioned just enough, eyes lingering too long, and at 2206 you're called in, a weapon placed in front of you with a simple instruction to prove loyalty, the target identified, ordinary, irrelevant, innocent, and you understand this is not about them, but about measuring how far you've already gone, how much of yourself is still intact, and for the first time in 2 years there is hesitation, not in your hands, but somewhere deeper, where you see the structure clearly, the endless progression, the absence of any real exit. The decision happens quietly, almost automatically, and by the time morning arrives, your role is already being replaced, your identity folded back into a system that doesn't acknowledge individuals, only functions, and you're released with minimal words. A partial name returned, your existence reduced to archived files, while outside everything continues normally, traffic moving, people speaking, routines unchanged, except you no longer fit into them the same way, observing more than participating, until one day you pass another room with the same arrangement, a table, 3 men, a gun, and someone else sitting where you once were, and you keep walking because the system does not pause, does not remember, and does not need to. It simply continues, precise and uninterrupted, as if you were never there at all.